I'm 73 years old, and I'm sitting in a house that took me a lifetime to build. Every floorboard, every coat of paint was part of a plan. A good plan, I thought. The problem with plans, I've learned, is that they're about the future. And the future is a place you can't live in. You can only live right here, right now. And right now, it's very quiet in this house. I'm telling you this not because I want your pity. I don't think I deserve it. I'm telling you this because the silence in these rooms has taught me something. And it's a lesson that took me 52 years to understand. I'm hoping it takes you less time. Because 52 years, that's most of a life. And you don't get it back. The story starts when I was 21. I had nothing but calluses on my hands and a fire in my belly. And I had Eleanor. She was everything. She had this laugh that could make a cloudy day feel sunny. We got married young. We didn't have 2 dimes to rub together, but we had a dream. Or, I should say, I had a dream. I was going to build her a fortress, a life so secure, so comfortable, that she would never have to worry about a single thing. That's a good dream, isn't it? A noble one, even. It's the kind of thing a man is supposed to do. Provide, build, protect. And I was good at it. I worked. Lord, did I work! I took the extra shifts. I stayed late to finish the reports. I was the first one in, the last one to leave. Eleanor would be waiting up for me. In our first tiny apartment, I'd come home and the whole place would smell like whatever she'd cooked. She'd have a plate saved for me. She'd ask me about my day, and I'd talk about my boss, about the project, about the promotion I was trying to get. And she'd listen. She'd always listen. And then I'd say the words that became the motto of our lives. Just a little longer, Ellie. Once I get this promotion, things will settle down. Once we have a down payment for the house, I'll take some time off. Once the kids are in school, once the mortgage is paid off, once. I was always living for once. I was building that fortress brick by brick, and every brick was a Saturday I didn't spend with her. Every new window was a vacation we didn't take. Every finished room was 100 conversations I only half listened to because my mind was on a deadline. It didn't happen all at once. That's the trick of it. It's not a big dramatic betrayal. It's a slow leak, a quiet erosion. I remember one spring afternoon. I must have been in my late 30s. The sun was perfect. You know, one of those first warm days after a long winter. Eleanor came into my home office. I had papers spread out all over the desk. She had her coat on. She said, "Arthur, let's go for a walk, just down to the park and back. It's beautiful out." I didn't even look up from my papers. I just waved my hand. "I can't, Ellie. I've got to get this done. The quarterly reports are due Monday." I can still see the way her shoulders fell, just a little. She stood in the doorway for a second. I thought she was going to say something, but she just nodded and said, "Okay, well, maybe next time." And she closed the door. There were so many next times. Next time we'll take that trip to see the ocean. Next time we'll plant that garden you wanted. Next time we'll just sit on the porch and do nothing. I wasn't a bad husband. I never missed a birthday. I bought her beautiful things. I paid the bills on time. I was dependable. I was solid. I was building her fortress. I thought I was doing everything right. But I was building a fortress for a woman I was slowly forgetting how to talk to. The kids grew up. They moved out. The house got quieter. And my work got more important. I was a senior partner by then. I had people working under me. The stakes were higher. The pressure was immense. Eleanor started taking trips with her sister or with friends. She'd go to museums. She took a painting class. She was building a life, a smaller, quieter one, inside the walls of the fortress I had built for her. When she'd come home, she'd have stories, and I'd be distracted, thinking about a contract or a client or the stock market. I loved her. If you had asked me at any point in those 50 years if I loved my wife, I would have said, of course, without a moment's hesitation. I loved her deeply, but I was in love with the idea of her, the idea of us, somewhere in the future. I wasn't paying attention to the real, living woman who was getting a little older, a little quieter, right in front of me. The turning point came 6 years ago. I was 67. I was finally thinking about retirement. One more year, I told her. Just one more year to get everything in perfect order, and then it's just you and me. That was the year we found out about her illness. It wasn't slow, it was fast, the kind that doesn't give you time to negotiate. The doctor gave us 6 months. The future I had been working for my entire life, the once, it vanished in a sterile white room that smelled of antiseptic. It just disappeared. All the plans, all the security, all the money in the bank. It meant nothing. The fortress couldn't save her. And for the first time in almost 50 years, I stopped working. I came home, and I saw my wife. I really saw her. I saw the lines around her eyes that I didn't remember appearing. I saw the way she held her teacup with both hands because they trembled a little. I sat with her. We didn't talk about the future. There wasn't one. So we talked about the past. And she told me stories. Stories about our first apartment, about a joke I'd told that I'd long forgotten. She talked about the day our son was born. She remembered the color of the blanket. I didn't. We had 4 months together. 4 real months. I tried to cram a lifetime of presents into those 4 months. We went for walks, me pushing her wheelchair. We sat on the porch and did nothing. I held her hand and just listened. One afternoon she was dozing, and she said something so quiet I almost missed it. She said, "I wish we had more Tuesdays. Not trips, not money, not a bigger house. Tuesdays. Ordinary, boring, forgettable Tuesdays." And I just broke. I sat there, a 67-year-old man, and I wept because I realized I had traded 50 years of Tuesdays for a future that was never guaranteed. There are things in this life that can't be fixed. This is one of them. I can't get the time back. I can't go back to that spring afternoon and take that walk. I can't unsay, maybe next time. All the success, all the achievements, I would trade every last bit of it. I would trade this whole empty fortress for one more ordinary Tuesday with my wife. So I'm talking to you, you with the fire in your belly, you with your plans and your deadlines and your important, urgent tasks, you who are building a fortress for someone you love. I'm just here to ask you one thing. Don't forget to live inside the life you're building. Don't be so focused on the finish line that you forget the person running beside you. The work will always be there. The deadlines will always be there. But the people you love won't. Your life is not a project to be completed. It's a story being written every single second. And the most important chapters are not the big dramatic moments. They are the quiet, simple, ordinary days, the Tuesdays. Don't trade your Tuesdays. They are worth more than you can possibly imagine. I sit here now in this big finished house. It's a fine house, strong, secure, but it's a monument to a lesson learned too late. It's a museum of someday. My time is shorter now. I know that, and there's a strange peace in it. But my one regret, my only real regret, is that I didn't learn this sooner, that I spent 52 years building a life for my wife instead of just living one with her. Don't make my mistake. Don't waste yours. Go be with them. Just go for a walk. The work can wait. It really can.